underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth, we ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are, do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth, we ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are, do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get to keep your soul too.
What up, man? It's your big brother, K Reno.
And it's your boy, Keith Stowe.
Y'all are tuned in again to another episode of the Underground Dialogue Podcast, where the name speaks for itself, man. And sitting in the legend seat today, man, we have one of the pillars and the foundational pieces of not only the Memphis rap scene, but the Southern rap scene and hip-hop in general. This man has sold millions and millions of records at a time where selling millions of records, you had to do it the real way. People was walking in the store purchasing them things, man. This man has established himself, in my opinion, as one of the most legendary figures to come out of our region. He's a Suave House OG, Rap-A-Lot OG, and he had the style and the swag long before they was even calling it swag, before they was even using that language. And you've heard him on Sex Faces with Scarface. He had the classic Show Nuff and I'm tired of balling, even though he didn't mean it when he said he was tired of balling, because he kept on balling. But all that being said, I still feel like he don't get the props that he deserves, so he about to get that work today, man.
I think he might be one of the most original styles.
Come on, man.
Ever hit hip-hop.
The one and only Tela.
Yeah.
In the building. How you feeling, family member?
Hey, well, I like being here. I like being here.
Man, look, man, we honored to have you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And really, for me, I'm really honored because all these years we've been parallel, but we never even chopped it up. You know, we did a show on the same show a few weeks back, but we never just really sat down and talked. So this cool for me too, man.
And you know what? God timing. You know what I'm saying? It's perfect time. For whatever reason, here we are.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's an honor as well.
Man, we had a while back we had Young Bleed in here, and I was talking to him about the Baton Rouge rap scene and how a lot of those great rappers have come out. Man, Memphis is the same way, man. Memphis got such a rich hip-hop history, bro. When you talk about yourself and 8 Ball and 3-6 and just going all the way down the line to the Gangsta Booze, all the way up to Dolph and freaking Glorilla, whoever you want to name. Man, you being one of the original artists, rappers to come out of that Memphis scene, man, what do you think about when you think about the history of Memphis rap? And do you think it gets overlooked or the credit it deserves?
Memphis on fire, you know, and people that know. Of course it would have been dope to have like major situations out there, labels. Well, we have, you know, CMG, Gotti do his thing, Dolph, you know, do his thing, 3-6, you know, but the talent, you know, supersedes that to me, as far as like, you know, it could be just as thriving as Atlanta musically, you know what I'm saying? But hey, man, no complaints. You know, I feel like, you know, I'm proud of that footprint that print that we got, not only just in music in general, but the rap scene.
Yeah,
you know,
What was it that got you from Memphis and got you to Houston?
That was Ball and G.
Ball
you know,
G.
The relationship with them and Draper, and Ball told Draper about me, and and Drake reached out. We linked, and the rest was history. You know, the one overthought. He was doing so good with Ball and G. You know, so but I had a rap buddy at that time. So, you know, he was looking for another group out of them. And my rap buddy, we decided to do different things. Yeah. And Drake, he's like, hey, what's happening? You still, you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Got him over, back then you had the, FedEx, the demo cassette.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So it didn't arrive right off. I think it was a week. Maybe not even a week. 5, 6 days. He reached back out to me and was like, "Yeah, no, I want to link up with you.
Yeah.
I like what I'm here. You want to be with this Suave house shit, And I was like, yeah.
What was your style like in the beginning? Was you always rapping the way you was rap, or in the beginning did you have to kind of like find your voice and your style in the early days?
Yeah, like everybody. It developed. It's a little bit of every. You're influenced by those that because I was heavily influenced by when I first started trying to rap, tried to sound like Ice Cube.
Yeah.
So you go through these different people. Then I went through a Slick Rick phase.
Yeah.
And I went through, I went through, who else, man? It was, I remember Run.
Man.
I went through this Run thing, trying to, and so it's kind of gumboed all it up, and played with it and trying to hit different, like you say, patterns and rhythms, and we came up with some, and that was my day one rap buddy, me and Cody, and I just kind of elaborated on that style, but like I said, he chose to do something else, and I just kept forward.
When was it when he made the choice to say he wanted to do something different, and like you remember the year around the time frame?
It was in 1995. Yeah. And it was man wanted to get married, what it was. He's like, I'm marrying my gal, and I'm, yeah. This shit was weird to me. That shit was strange, man.
How did when he saw you pop off, did y'all have any correspondence after that? What was his thought process after he saw, oh man, my boy done, I'm gonna get a divorce now, like what was his thing?
He didn't do that, but I was able to get put him in a situation that he hopped in the studio, and actually we recorded a couple of records, and I got it over to I'm messing that up. No, that was during that time is when I got to rap a lot.
Okay.
And that I was able to, some of the homies like, well, come up here. I'm working on the album. This, just get out.
Right.
And I threw them on a couple of tracks because I wanted to present it, like, and I did all that, but it didn't resonate. I think I wound up presenting it to Red Boy, but it didn't, but I was able to try to extend that, what I'm saying? To say, hey man, I made it through. If you want to get down,
if you still got some juice left in the tank, you can come on and jump on. Yeah.
And, he tried it, just didn't land a certain way. This shit ain't for everybody,
Man. Man.
And he cold too.
Yeah.
Cold, one of the coldest out there. But
So you mainly speaking to, when you say it ain't for everybody, the talent side, a lot of people got the talent, but when you get behind that wall and you understand how the business and all that operates and the schedule and all that type of stuff, is that what you mean when you say that? Yeah.
You got to be built for this shit. Yeah. It's different now, and I ain't slighting them young folks, them young boys, or the fire new generation, but I'm just saying it's so accessible. You know what I'm saying? So you can really get it done. Now we had to. It was a ride for us, Yeah. I mean, just the simplest thing, getting your DJ equipment over to the spot, you know what I'm saying? Moving around wax and 1200s and, that's a different fit. Now you just pop up with your computer,
With the thumb drive.
Yeah. Boom, boom. So and that's just a small section of it. You had to, you had to really sleep, eat, breathe, this, shit, just to get a blimp on the radar, because the East Coast still dominated, and it still was like Yeah, we see the South, but it still, was stronghold really by the East,
Yeah, because it's late 90s, yeah.
Yeah. So, we had to really be, it's like, that white folk, black folk thing when you got to work 100, you got to be 100 times
better.
Yeah. So
no question about it.
we dealt with that. That was that time for us in the South, So, yeah, you had to be built for this shit. You got to be built for it. And I ain't taking none away even today. Yeah, you got to have the stomach for it.
No, but I agree with you. It ain't the same kind of grind.
Yeah.
That don't make one right or one wrong.
That's
but we kind of got the benefit of having both, because if we was able to transition into the internet, social media world as we stay in it, you got to learn that too. Yeah. But we was boots on the ground, getting on the road, hand to hand combat, and that's a more tedious process.
Yeah. It definitely gonna let you know quick if this what you want.
Man, no doubt about it, man. When you hit Suave House, bro, you think a lot of these labels, the Death Rows, the Rap-A-Lots, and all these different labels like that, man. Y'all had a roster, man. At that time, that roster was sick, in my opinion. And again, I don't think it get enough credit that it deserves, because you talk about people that people don't even mention, like Crime Boss and all those guys, man. And
I was gonna say the voice of Mr. Mike.
And diversity, yeah, Mr. Mike, all of y'all sounded different.
Original.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
Okay. No, I was saying, when you came in, was it just 8 Ball and MJG when you got there? What order did you come into the Suave House roster? About third artist, second artist, when?
Crime Boss was there.
Okay.
Mike was there. Tela was there. Shit, I want to say that. I know OC was there. OC was there. So if OC was there, Key had to be there.
Yeah.
Key might have came in right along with me.
Gotcha.
Nola was already there. Shit, I was like one of the last, to come in. So everybody was really already there.
So when you got there, they already established kind of on the move. What was going through your mind coming in, like that proving ground? Like, I got to come in and put my foot down.
Yeah. Shit, Drake sent me back to the house at one point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why?
Shit happens. Probably because I wasn't following code.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that.
Yeah.
That shit was like that then.
Right.
You don't do what we do, goddamn. You want to have your own mind and your own shit, nigga, go home.
Yeah.
You can't, you follow, so it was a lot of that, So I'm sure it was some shit like that. Yeah, because that was my dog during that time, for me. That was my dog, definitely looked up to him and his movement and everything, so, and got a lot of game from him, And so, but still at the same time too, you'll rub your folks the wrong way.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was something like that. You would never know directly.
Right.
You'll just know you back at the crib.
Right. I'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, how old was Drake around that time? Because I know you had to be super young.
Same thing about shit. What, 24?
24?
So all of y'all was young. All of y'all was young.
Mm-hmm.
When you came in the Suave House, was that your first experience with the label dynamic, or had you done some independent stuff? I mean, some other stuff back in Memphis, or that was your first time?
I did some other bullshit back in Memphis.
Yeah.
OTS Records. That's where me and Ball and G met.
Right.
Reggie Boylan. Shout out to Reggie. But Memphis shit, Memphis, people don't know that, in the 50s, Memphis was a real big ism city.
Yeah, no
it's
question.
pimping. It's really, and so that even though the face card of it may change, the energy of that shit still was in the air. You know what I'm saying? You know how powerful energy and spirit is.
Right.
And so, man, it's a lot of opportunities where people could have really done some things, but when that ism on you gotta pimp everything around you, here we go.
Yeah.
So it was that type of bullshit.
Yeah.
So I got it in early, a little bit, but still, man, I'm still by nature real optimistic and real, like when I'm down, which I'm down, and so I just was down with my people. If you melanated look, I'm just,
Come on.
you know what I'm saying? So I was so even going through that, I still took that same type of energy over into Suave, but it's like, and as well as the lot, but it's still like, at some point I will, I think because that loyalty is there so much for me, and others might not know it, but the shit burning in me, that I flip the switch just like that if I feel, a certain type of way. Because I'm really, this is real. Say you love somebody for real, right? And they don't, and not blaming it, but if they don't, they can't really, they don't know how to receive that properly.
Right.
And when you've given that, you quick to disconnect.
Yeah.
Because you weren't playing. You know what I'm saying? I've taken all I can take. I can't take, I gave so much. So yeah, I had that ability to go in hard, but shit detach just like that.
Yeah. What's crazy, man, you hit something that I don't think people look at it from that angle. Like when you say when you loving somebody the right way or a situation, because it can relate to relationships, but it can also relate to business and friendship and all that too.
Right.
And you said not that they are not able to give it back. You said they not able to receive what you're getting because of what they might have been going through. Yeah. That goes a lot deeper than what I think people understand. Yeah. And when you got that kind of heart, you like to say, you're going to get the hell up out of there if you feel like it ain't right.
We're right.
Yeah.
But the love is still, there, man. No, it ain't when it comes to them brothers, they were young and just, man, even like I said, Reg with the OTS, just to, get us all there in the same building. Shit, you got the lights on and so we got equipment in here, So, hey man, that is still worth loving that being just because of that. You know what I'm saying? So the love is there, but sometimes you get to that place and man, this shit here this ain't gonna fly right.
Yeah.
But
you outgrow it.
Yeah.
Because I ask people this question all the time, and I ask, and some people get different answers. I be like, so all of the stuff you went through earlier, the tough parts of it, do you wish it wouldn't have happened? And some people say, nah, I'm glad I went through it. Some people say, nah, I wish I could have did it different. What's your whole take on that?
Yeah, wouldn't change it. You know what I'm saying? That's my life. Right. And that's who we are. Wouldn't change it. But it'd be definitely dope for whoever's coming after us that, they can have a little grace in those areas, that we've evolved to know how to do good business with each other.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Doing good business, good honorable business for real. And sometimes in business that when you don't, you have different opinions or viewpoints or whatever, you're able to discuss that instead of letting it get to a place to where, we foolery shit.
Yeah, get ugly. Yeah.
And which I'm not hearing a lot about that, but in our era, it was foolery. Look, situation like death row and shit. Motherfuckers getting leg broke and hanging out.
Play the track. You start rapping. Your rap don't sound good. In 10 seconds, we're gonna beat the hell out of you. Yeah.
Or hanging off the balconies and all that shit, man. And not just saying that, but that was the energy.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to if moving forward, we're more civil.
Right.
Just civil, man.
Absolutely.
Civil and kind.
Yeah. No. Because you don't come into a situation even having that thought in your mind.
Yeah.
Like, you might come into a situation maybe feeling like, well, man, I don't know the business. It's a possibility these people might beat me out my money.
Yeah.
But you're not thinking about your personal safety when you go into a situation, need the people that you're around.
Yeah.
So that is a different day.
And a lot of times, it's just check this cold shit out. It's really because you did well. your creation, what you created from a talent point, it did well, right? And you just want to be compensated.
Fairly compensates. Yeah. You're like,
I turn this in.
yeah, the nerve of you to want what you deserve. Yeah.
That's a sadistic behavior.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wow, you know. So and I think too, it may have compromised the music. Music's still fire now, but that particular music is different, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's different. And when when you do something wrong, you taint it. You take, you strip people, you can kill the soul of something, darken it, and that's what goes into that. And so when that happens, you got dope artists and really good people that can't be creative properly.
Right.
The
environment is altered. Yeah, the environment.
And now you got these black minds of ours that are naturally beautiful, but we dealing with the history that, now you just entering that even more.
Right. Right.
And I get it. I get it. It can get tricky, and like I said, when you're young, okay, but now moving forward, man, we ain't got no excuse.
No, it definitely ain't no excuse.
To handle business properly.
Right.
And do that's scripture. That's scientific. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you.
Come on, man.
It's simple.
Come on, man. And I always use the analogy because if you look at what a lot of the so-called major labels have historically done to black artists, then when the independent game popped off in hip hop, now you got other brothers that's doing that. I don't want to trade no white slave master in for no black one. Yeah. So I don't want to be treated the same. If I'm coming in this situation, I'm thinking you got me, cause you're supposed to have me. So in I think greed got a lot to do with it. I think a lot of times brothers will look at a situation and feel like they'll prioritize their generational wealth over yours and not look at it as a partnership to say, well, man, you know what? I'm eating because of him and he's eating because of me. Let's figure out a way to find a happy medium and just do right. Was it anything contractual that you didn't know or didn't perceive when you were doing where at the end of the day it didn't turn out the way you wanted to turn out?
If you don't mind, Kay, let me ask you something to the last what you came.
Okay, go ahead.
So do you think people are just born that way? Or
no.
Those people, or something happens in it?
Well, it depends. I think for us, when you look at a lot of our brothers that kind of go down that road, I think it's a learned behavior in some instances where you look and see how somebody else operates, and you may see the result of them operating like that and say, okay, that's how he did that.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me that again. What was you
Yeah. I asked you was if any shortcomings that you may have had in terms of being, like we say, fairly compensated, was it a situation with some contractual that you looked at and was like, or you didn't understand at the time of the contract, or the contract wasn't honored?
I think in all the contract, it was a little bit of both of those.
Gotcha.
One contract, but nothing never, came out of it. So, and it wasn't. So that was kind of like washed up. And in one contract, it was like what was on paper. Yeah, it was fucked up.
Yeah.
But our verbal shit.
Gotcha.
We had a verbal.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm still like that type that, I come from that place too. So I felt like it was a little bit of honor amongst thieves, at some point so I get it. I understand it. I come from that place. But I was like, man, we had a verbal agreement.
Right.
I know what this say.
Right.
To a degree.
Right.
But this don't matter. What me and you talked about weighs over.
Weighs more, yeah. Hold more weight, yeah. See, and
so can you say from where we are from in our tribe that, okay, when you don't know business right here, but you're able to do it like that, oh, that's like, you don't really know business because the business here now, but where we come, the business is here.
Come on.
Yeah.
So I'm operating in business properly with you when I say boom, boom, you say boom, boom. Well, but now guess what they got? Now now we got to be that. And it took away from this.
Gotcha.
And this was that's that real bond when you can stand on that.
This preceded this.
Yeah.
If you go back thousands of years ago, millions of years, it wasn't this. It was your word or whatever it is, how they communicate.
So once again, we dumb it down because now we here now. Yeah. And this is what all this about. And you need to know this, you need to know this, you need to know this. And we've lost the real connection of, so it's shit deep. So nah, man, when the new people come in and they make deals in that situation, I know them. Bless their heart. You operating actually how you supposed to. Mm-hmm. And then later on, that's when they say, oh, you should have known that. You should know. Okay, all right, whatever. But man, look, y'all operating right because y'all vibrating here to know like, okay, that's how it really should be. That's over matter. You speak matter.
Come on.
Into existence.
Come on,
so
man.
That's over matter.
Come on, man.
And speak should come from mind. It's always mind over matter.
Yeah.
Matter ain't over mind.
Come on, man. In the beginning was the word, but before it could be a word, it had to be a thought.
There you go.
And that's what produces everything.
There you go.
That's after that. You got some Keystone?
Oh yeah, man. I was going. I seen a lot of when I was researching this one here, and I was pulling up pictures of you, man. I seen so many of times that you had with Pimp C. I was gonna see if you can just tell us a little bit about that relationship and that brotherhood you had with him, because it seems like, man, I see his smile, your smiles be like crazy.
Yeah, man. Pimp. So first time I met Pimp is over at with Tony. Mm-hmm. He came over and they had just dropped that. He just dropped the album. This was before what album did they drop in '94?
What, Suave?
No.
No, you're talking about UGK.
Oh, UGK, Riding Dirty?
I think that's the album. It was Riding Dirty. And we was just talking about that, and I remember telling him, and me thinking that I'm just coming in, but Pimp always was sharp. But it's just how he gracefully handled it. He ain't even trip out or flip on me, but I'm just like, yeah, that, that's fire, but y'all should, be trying to sound like this. In other words, I'm trying to go mainstream here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, you said that to Pimp.
Mainstream, motherfucking Pimp. Now, he could have just did me like that. Like, who you again? Yeah. But no, he actually listening to me because, peace of mind, he, but he still let me know, like, no, my day ones, that's where it's at, team, my fan base. Right. I serve my fan base. And I couldn't get in. He was absolutely right, Right. So that was like one of our first encounters. And then from now, and we would all kind of just see each other in pass and never really got down to work. Of course, we collabed on a few things, but we connected more so in just us being,
Yeah.
And yeah, it was always really up. It was always fun, man. Always fun. I really miss Pimp.
Man.
I didn't have bad times with Pimp.
Yeah.
Nothing, I don't know what anybody, but man, his, it was always up.
I always remember this video y'all did where at the end of the video was you and Pimp in the front of a burger and the door was closing.
Yeah, and he stayed there even all day with me, and he had other action happening, and he was staying, just riding it out with me, and so yeah, and he called me when the last time he was in on lock, and he was saying he wanted me to get done with do more records at Rap A Lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he was that. He was like, yeah, I know you on your spiritual journey and your spiritual stuff, but you need to go over there and do them records.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
Now I was gonna ask, what triggered the transition from Suave House to Rap A Lot?
Yeah. That's a story everybody want to know.
Yeah.
Cause you the last one coming in, first one go.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Y'all don't who else that y'all could ask that story?
Y'all Suave to Rap A Lot?
Yeah.
No, I can't think of nobody. You might be the only one, Tela. Yeah.
I would like to hear y'all interview Tony.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all should ask him that. I wonder what he say.
Yeah.
But mine was really, it was for me, like I said, it was about money.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
About money, man. You know?
I got you.
For me, and Jay came in at a time where, you know, that's what made sense to me in that situation. Mm-hmm. And we all just came to that agreement. Right. You know?
Right. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Was the Rap A Lot and Suave beef real?
And if you talk about it, I mean, them real people.
Yeah.
So them real people, I don't think they play beefing. You know, I don't. Neither one of them give me the, you know, especially at that time. But once again, it was quickly resolved. You know, it was quickly resolved. And it didn't get it didn't get crazy.
No,
it didn't get out of hand. Thank God.
Thank God.
You know,
absolutely.
You know, I had a ordeal, and but yeah, got out of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you want to say it was not because beef, with no blood shed, you know.
Tension and beef can be two different things.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're in a competitive field and you got artists that both are vying for it, it could possibly be tension. I wanted to shift gears because one thing I found out about you, brother, is I didn't know how deep you was into production, like producing. Like when I saw a lot of your songs under producer, I saw your name under a bunch of songs. So was you producing and hands-on in the production side from early on, and how'd you get into production, and why don't a lot of people know that you were that heavy into production on your projects?
I ain't really go after that producer, you know, spot, you know, like that. Mm-hmm. I just knew I was heavily involved in whatever records I was on, you know, from the music side of it, you know, of course the writing and, you know, and whatever the hook, you know, would be. Even majority of the hooks, you know, I didn't have writers in there with me. So I just kind of saw the full thereof of what I was doing, you know, and I saw it on the beat side as well, to the music side, you know. But I wasn't really, like I said, just trying to be a producer. So I wasn't just waving that flag, you know. It wasn't, you know, it was a passion to a mine to only be there, but I don't think it was like, you see how Kanye shit is, how, you know, because I could go too long without cooking.
Gotcha.
You know, or like Paul them, you know, I noticed they would, you know, but I could just go from just writing, you know, and not pick up the machine or go to, you know, so. Yeah,
I heard it was a funny story about even when you came up with the hook to Showing Up.
Mm.
Did you tell how that happened?
Yeah, we was out at Pure Passion. Mm-hmm. I came in. I wanted a record called Salt Shaker. You know, but the whole strip club dynamic was there, you know. But that one, we laid it. It was it just didn't come back right. So we went to Pure Passion, you know, kind of catch that vibe.
Yeah.
You know, we understood that then. Let's hit the strip club, you know, and shit, me and Jazzy, and I think I was one, you know, shaking that ass like a salt shake, and he was like in the club, and then out, you know, it was some holes in the club. It was just that same, you know, and next thing you know, you be riding in a car and you work it out. It's you remember that?
Yeah.
It's like y'all bounce because it'll start here, but then you know, it'll go here and everybody get that's it right there, and then it'll go there in the hole and you vibe it up like that, man.
Yeah,
It
that's
was one of them vibes, and then we was able to pull up and lay it.
Yeah.
We laid it, and so the beat was already, that was Jazz on that from a production end, because it was really a record he had did for Breed.
Right.
I wanted this record real bad. And he's like, no, this Breed record, but we can come up with something else.
Right.
So we caught the tempo off of that Breed record, and so put the hook on top of that. Neil Jones, bass player, he vibed the bass down live. That was just like a one taker, you know.
Wow.
So it was things like, you know, that, and I remember taking it, and I just rolled around with that instrumental and that hook like for about maybe a week and a half or something like that. So I really got a chance to
just become it.
Yeah. And it was did big, and that from there, they just had my verse.
Right.
You know, everybody was right around my verse. Ball and G verses wasn't even on there. So everybody was just on that for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, just how it got, you know, that tape got passed around in the click.
Right.
You know, so it was riding around like that for a minute. Drake, his brother, you know, Ball and G wasn't on it yet.
Yeah.
And
I heard they said they didn't even want to be on it. They like the other.
Yeah, they liked another record better.
Wow.
You know, and Tony convinced them, to get on that one.
Man, when that song came out, man, I just remember everybody's going crazy. Everybody that lost their mind. How did that sweep you up? Because that was your first big hit, right? Yeah. Okay, so what was going through your mind? Because I'm sure you probably felt like, okay, I knew I was going to do this anyway. Yeah. But when it happened,
man,
how fast did life start moving and changing after that?
Man,
let me
tell you, man, it ain't like a feeling like. So I know, man, whoever had this feeling, y'all know that feeling, you know, where, man, I'm walking to Sharpstown. I ain't even got a car, man. I'm walking to Sharpstown. And every car that passed by is banging that piece of mine. Every car.
Man. Come on,
every car.
Every car.
You don't even understand what I'm talking about.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Every car, man. Every car.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
That messed your head up, huh?
You talking about, I'm from Memphis. I'm from the M.
Yeah.
I'm from the M. My first time out the M is the H. I'm in the H, as big as this boy is. Yeah. And you have a moment, every car walking to Sharpstown, you ain't even riding.
Come on,
but
Tela.
you feeling like, man, I'm on a cloud. Like, man, man, what?
Yeah.
Hey, I got.
Why was you walking to Sharpstown? You lived around the corner, or what?
Oh, I ain't had
not like okay, it ain't kicked in yet. Okay, okay, all right, okay. Yeah.
No, this is when it just dropped.
Right.
This mine just dropped. I ain't had nothing.
Man. Okay.
No car, no man, shit. Maybe a few pair of shoes. You know, I'm fresh out, as they say.
When you got to Sharpstown and was walking through, did they know who you was in that moment? They ain't know, huh?
Oh, everybody didn't know.
Wow.
It didn't resonate with everybody.
Wasn't the video yet.
Probably. Yeah, going on video.
And then the car passing by playing or something. You can't say, Hey man, that's me that y'all jamming right there. Hey man,
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It was like, hey, whatever, man. That ain't you. Man,
Yeah,
that swept you up. So what happened after that? How fast was like shows coming and all of a sudden radio play and all that?
And you got to know too, I'm bringing it back now, Drake was running the shit out of them Source ads.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't a video, but everybody in the city had the album because of the Source ads.
Gotcha. Had that cover, that's the old pen and pixel covers back in the day. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now we got to scramble and go and shoot this Show Enough video.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because at this time too, me and Green putting the gas on that record.
Shout out to me.
Man, shout out to me.
Yeah.
Man. He's such a pivotal piece, you know, for this situation, no doubt. Yeah, man. So, yeah, that was my experience, and it was just like I just couldn't come down. Man. I couldn't come down, man. That was a moment. That was one of the best moments, and I must say that's something, you know, to live as long. But one of my best moments of my life is here.
Yeah,
wow.
You know, here.
Yeah,
you know. Of course I love Memphis. Of course I love other places. But one of my best, the most memorable moment of my life, that's got to be, you know, I never felt like that.
Right. Yeah.
This thing about finally, what you did, and everybody, and you see people, you know, they loving that shit is weird. It's like it's like them and everybody.
Everywhere you turn your head, there it is.
Out here and then let it rain, and then you need to watch your gear. It was a place, man.
Yeah.
You know,
what that first show like? Once it popped, and okay, Tela's live. He gonna be here tonight.
Yeah, I fell on my face on that show.
Really?
Yeah, I ain't show up.
Didn't show up or didn't do good when you showed up?
Didn't do good.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
What happened?
I think I just hopped right on, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, most people, they first albums back then, you would have to they'll throw a record out on you, right? And then you had to go work that album. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that road work, you had a chance to work your show together, get that rust off. But I'm just instantly on the main stage.
Went straight on it.
So, and the main stage was big.
Right.
You know? Yeah, so but the audience loved it.
Right.
You know, this is from a personal artist.
Oh, yeah, you holding yourself to a standard.
Right,
yeah.
right.
No. Oh, that's cool then. That's cool.
The people, the crowd, rather.
Yeah. See, when you got a hit like that,
yeah,
the song do the work for you.
It does.
You could just do this and do that. And at some point, then you good to go. Yeah. And they gonna go home and say, "Boy, that boy Tina killed the lad."
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. I remember when Tired of Ballin' came out. You know what I'm saying? And that was my favorite one out of the hits you dropped, man. And I was like, as I listened to the hook, I was like, where's he going? Then he was like, you never hear him play with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Tina trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying? But to have those kind of hits, I always said that it's a blessing for an artist to have hits that can sustain you where you 25, 30 years later, you still are able to eat off of that work that you put in like that, man.
Right, that's dope, man. That's beautiful. And two, fun fact, double sidebar, what old girl say, to that Jazzy, pretty much he wrote I'm So Tired of Ballin', in a sense. Because, the record was there. I pinned the record, and he came up with I'm So Tired of Ballin'. You know, it's too many bitches. And now, that could have been me too, vibing back and forth, but it was just that. And I was like, no, we can't leave it hanging like that.
Gotcha.
With too many bitches on my dick, we just can't leave it like that. That's when I came back with Paula say that shit.
Yeah. Now that set it off because
we couldn't leave it hanging like that.
And it's gonna make you laugh when you say that, but yeah. He don't really mean it. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. That's
so. And you know the hook is serious enough to, you know, do it like that because Jazzy, the tone he took. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just a little, you know, it ain't Eminem to where it's like, you know what I'm saying, comical, but it's just enough to still be player. We right here, you know.
Well, that's your lane.
Yeah,
you know, that's your thing. Go ahead, Keystone.
I'm gonna say because you think like when he was at Suave, he had such that big hit with showing up, but then you backdoor when you got to rap about it. But then I ain't tired of balling. And so it just showed, man, you had
Tired of balling was Suave.
It was Suave?
Yeah, it's Suave.
What's the one you did when you went to Rap a Lot?
Rap a Lot first one was Fuck Faces. Yeah.
Man.
That's I mean, which is that's a compilation. That's one of Jay records.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, me, Short, and Deb, and Face on.
Yeah. But you know, too, man, also a lot of cats, they kind of rest on their laurels after they get a hit or two. You know, just you gotta still have that motivation, like, okay, I'm not gonna just be happy with this one. So the back door, you gotta put that first hit in the rear view and still push forward to come out with more and more like that. You know what I'm saying?
You know, yeah, and that's the approach that I went in, but right when that happened, we started shifting, you know, if I'm going, you know, the transition over into Rap a Lot.
Yeah.
Right when, okay, it's time to come back with a whole nother album. Because I would say even it should have been, you could have pulled 2 more singles off of Peace of Mind. You Can't Tell is definitely a single. And Peace of Mind could have been a single.
Gotcha.
I would have released that one after Show Enough. I would have hit them with You Can't Tell, because that's when I would perform. That record would go up, and then you know, Peace of Mind would have kind of mainstreamed it out, because Peace of Mind it's that record you can you know, in the morning. Work drive record, you know. So I was thinking like, and radio was opening up, and then too, it was a refreshing sound for the South, for the you know, to have some, you know, the harmonies in that record, you know, just the whole the vibe of it. That's the way I would have took the rest of the album. That album would have definitely went platinum. With those 2 singles being released.
It went gold, am I correct? Or what was the number?
Yeah, it's gold, you know, street gold.
Gotcha.
You know, because of course they wasn't you know, sound scanning, you know.
I got you. Everything they didn't register it.
Right. So a ton of those records that was sold was out of mom and pop.
Yeah,
they wasn't even.
They not registered no sound scan. Yeah, no question about it.
I mean, that was a bulk of the record.
Right.
Wow.
Damn near.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Right.
That's where I bought mine from.
Yeah. But it's still accountable, because being independent like that, y'all are the ones sending the stuff out anyway. So you can still get the numbers on it.
So it's definitely well over, you know, 500,000 pieces.
Nah, that's amazing,
well over
bro.
that.
That's amazing, bro. That's amazing. And like I said, these are real deal organic sales, bro. This like somebody got up, drove their car, burned some gas, pulled money out their pocket, and bought that record, man.
Yeah.
All over the place. What's your favorite market, or the market that showed you the most love once you got popping? That you said, man, I love coming here.
Well, shit, it was here.
You back there in them good old times.
They ain't got to go too far.
Real short time. That's back there with short time. Short time.
Yeah.
You know, Cleveland was always dope too. It was good out there. Atlanta.
Yeah.
I can't lie to A. Yeah. The A. So I was working everywhere through the South. I'm working, right? But the A still was that place where I kind of like started getting treated like, you know, like I go to 112, and then they'll give me a bottle and a mic, and I'm just walking up and down the goddamn bar.
The show is yours. Do your thing.
Ain't nobody, you know, everybody with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even the people I'm knocking their drinks. So that's that kind of celebrityism that, you know, so when you get a taste of that, so.
Hey, man, appreciate you spilling my drink on me, Tela, man. That means a lot to me, bro. What about home? Because I know home be the hardest, man. Like, you know,
man.
Yeah. Was home tough, or did they open up a little bit?
Home is a tough crowd.
Yeah.
Home is a tough crowd.
Even after
now it's tough. Yeah, they don't. And maybe I don't put enough pieces at the house. You know, maybe it's me.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's hard to walk on water at the house. You know? But I mean, you know, man, but it's a part of it. One day your life will be that you are appreciated in that home.
Yeah.
You just keep on, because I'm sure it happens at people actual houses.
Right.
They family, you doing numbers. You've been holding this family together, and they like you just regular degular up in there.
No doubt about it.
So yeah, it happened even in this space with the music. Sometimes at the house you're not fully appreciated. They and I think too, I'm just different. I'm
100%.
different.
Yeah.
And cause folks that ask me, like, when I tell you I'm from the M, they like, you don't sound like you from the M. Shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? Well, how the M sound?
Right.
So it's got this one particular, or you don't act like that. But I'm like, nah, it ain't just this one thing. It's a lot of different shapes around there. It's still a place where said from the ism, the Elvis stuff, the BB King, the Al Green, the all that, so why wouldn't this be more chill player, still in love with you, let's stay together.
Come on, man.
All that was. So what you think everything hard? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, that ain't, but that's how, yeah, so, yeah, especially young, I don't know if you deal with that, like the younger generation, they be like, disconnected on who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they right from the town.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's speaking for me, I've been so underground all my life. I never had records that was on the radio and all that type of stuff. So it's easy for them to not know me if you're 20 years old. But I think it's a shame if somebody don't know somebody like yourself who have been on those levels.
And these
like
folk is doing my record over.
That's all
right. See what I'm saying?
They don't know they don't know.
And they don't even know who record they doing.
Don't know. Exactly. It's one of they a big homie. OG gave it to them.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just where we at.
How you feel about that? Like, yeah, because it's one thing. Some people can view it as, well, it's a tribute. It ain't no tribute if you don't know me. You don't know who you. They were tribute then. But sometimes, so in that case, to me, it's a business move. Yeah. And somebody like you say, they don't put them up on it like that. But come on, bro, I'm still here. I'm still active, man. Whoever gave that song to them and said suggested do it over, they should have gave them the history as well. That's how I look at that.
Yeah, man. Me and Jazz was just having a conversation about that.
Yeah.
He thought I was, he was like, I don't know, he'll be all right with this. But he was just like, man, why? Why you concerned about them, picking up the phone? And, I just said, it's just courtesy.
Common courtesy.
It's just all,
Yeah.
But he's just like, why? So, and we can have those kind of conversations with each other. And I look at it like, you know what? Maybe it's not a wrong or right. Maybe you ain't wrong or right. Maybe I ain't wrong or right. It's just,
it's respect too, though, man. Because the thing is, I feel like human nature just dictates that every person who walked this planet, especially somebody who ever did something significant, you want to be appreciated for it. It ain't nothing wrong with that to me. And it ain't nothing wrong with saying, okay, when all this, whatever people feel about the word legacy or whatever, it's a real thing. And to have something that you've done and people don't appreciate it, but they pinch off of it and they eat off of it. Man, that's just a respect thing, bro. So I mean, we might disagree on that, but I like, dude, give me mine, because it's just words at the end of the day. If I don't own the record, I might not benefit nothing financially from it, but you could at least say, because you might win a free. Okay, the record the sister did off the Charlie Boy, the I Look Good record. Yeah. She redid that in the R&B form, and she brought Charlie along to the Grammys and all that. Acknowledged him where she got that premise from.
And who you say she is now?
I forgot the sister's name. I forgot where she's from.
But
But the point is,
but see, think about this though. Think about this. She just a real one, you know, in that sense.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm not saying the other people that don't do it ain't real. It's just that she's more, I guess, in tune because I could look at it like, okay, one of them young boys get it, or one of them young chicks, they get it, and they so amped up, and they just into them like, I'm making this shit. I'm helping you with this. I'm
bringing you life.
Yeah, and they don't mean it like that, but they just like, nigga, I'm on. I'm the one, you know. Yeah, I got all this, you know, popping. I'm, I got this motion on me, and they just caught up in that to where it's like, you know, you should be goddamn.
You should be glad that I breathe some life. You know, but you know, I get it, man. That's like when back in the days we used to sample records.
Exactly.
And we'll sample a record. We don't always mention who we sample the record from. And a lot of them old school cats, they was mad. Yeah, so I guess it's a cycle, man.
Yeah.
Right,
hey,
man.
I did it. I can't lie. I did. I took so many.
Me too.
But here's the thing, though. Now, none of them ain't monetized off of.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I would have been getting a bag, probably would have stepped the same day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was young, goddamn.
I guess you're right, man.
I'm young. I don't know no goddamn.
Right,
I get it. Y'all young.
Yeah.
You can blame it on that shit.
and we looking at it through the lens now of an older person that have been. So we looking at it how it should be handled, opposed to how we might have handled it ourselves. Yeah. All right, man.
So now that I think back, you know what? Hey man, y'all keep rapping over that thing, man. Run it all the way up.
There you go.
Yeah, but y'all learn y'all history too, man. Because the bottom line is that's respect. Because everything is a cycle. So one day somebody might take one of y'all hits 20 years later and don't give y'all the card you're supposed to get from it. So man, just do, like you say, treat people the way you want to be treated, man.
There you go. Let me ask you this. We're going to switch gears a little bit. If you don't mind me asking, what was one of the factors that made you actually step back from hip hop and go into your hiatus for a second?
I was on a spiritual thing, you know. Yeah. It was real for me, you know. It didn't go as far as what Mace did, you know, but I was sure thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, you know, I was thinking about maybe, you know, not full-on minister, but
deacon.
Shit, I had the goddamn suits. I was ready. I was ready.
Yeah.
Ready. But just more so, I was looking at like them bishops and shit.
Yeah.
Those, you know, as like how we would look at hot rappers.
Gotcha.
You know? And so I saw a space in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is interesting. You know, of course I love music, but still it's a rhythm to that. Mm-hmm. You know, and there's some punchlines in there. You know, it's just like what you get with comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
So I see why artists move over to actors, to comedians, and I could even see the transition. Like, think about it. Al Green went to a minister.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did.
Because it's still that you know, and you trying to get numbers. You trying to still like get, you know.
Right.
So I thought about it in that sense, and you know, and so I was like, I saw that shit. It's just is scandalous. From a business perspective.
Yeah.
When you get over there, like, oh, y'all do the same shit
Right,
over here, man.
right.
I'm going back over here.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm a big Sam Cooke fan, and before Sam Cooke went into secular music, he was doing gospel.
Yeah.
And I watched a documentary where one of them dudes was like, well, man, look, you know, you go on them gospel tours and you sing. He said, it's just like being R&B singer. You got groupies coming, the church girls is groupies, and they taking them back to the hotel. They banging just like the R&B singers was.
Playing with their nose and
all that. Yeah.
There's a VIP section in the church.
Yeah. No, they was going wild. But again, it say like when you was talking about the sister doing the child, would say you got to be a real one.
Yeah.
The real ones are gonna immerse themselves into it, and they're gonna really do it from the spirit, from the heart.
And man, and I've grown. I know how to compartmentalize now a whole lot better. So if you got the what is it? You got the calling upon your life, and you know how to administer people in that realm. I get it. And then on the sides, you out here, like I said, you got
doing a little something. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't judge you, man.
Yeah.
I don't judge. I'm learning that now that our God Almighty, this, the Creator, it's not just, it's complex.
Yes,
it's,
sir.
It's not just one
ideology,
right?
Yeah.
Things. So I see it now the way, like, I don't hold. Like I said, I know how to separate the artist. I separate that.
Yeah.
Now, hey, I ain't gonna lie. I know y'all say you don't like certain things. I can't lie, man. Kanye though, Kanye last move that kind of bothered me. Yeah,
which one? I lost track. I done lost track of the moves, man. At this point,
yeah, the cousin.
The gay stuff?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because stuff usually don't affect me how I'm gonna listen to you.
Right.
Like I said, I got past. Like I said, I compartmentalize, but that shit, I'm like, I ain't been able to stream yay.
Yeah.
After that,
yeah, you said that happened for 8 years or something.
yeah, I can't even stream them, and I wanted to hear, cause I like, I really be on that Vultures too.
Yeah.
Shit, fire, and it was I can't.
Yeah,
Vulture, all right.
Took it all up out of you.
Yeah.
But sometimes too, I look at it, man, it explains a lot about a person when you see, that part of it, you be like, oh, okay. I kind of see why that went down like that. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. And I'll be like, my deal be, why say that now? What's the purpose of bringing that up now?
You know what? And the cold part is like, and I'm just being real, really, y'all. That, man, this music is so heavy that whatever you've done in this space, man, it affects me when you pull some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I'm really like, man, why would you even speak on this shit? Same thing, right. I'm like really riding around like you put this certain energy out in the atmosphere, man. We need that.
I believe in heal yourself in private, man. Something that extreme like that, bro. If that's what you went through, God bless you. But heal that in private.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. Some people might make the argument. They might say, well, man, him saying that will help somebody else who may be going through that. But I heal that in private, bro.
You got too much of body of work in, and like I said, the frequencies you tapped in, you got to think, me knowing and understanding that I don't want to stream you right now.
Yeah.
That's like deep, man.
Yeah.
You ain't even, that's like crazy. I'm damn near surprised in my own self.
Yeah.
Like, how is this even happening?
Yeah.
But I really had trouble. Like, man, I ain't played that. You see, he's a ping.
Ping. But you see, that go back to back in the days, and I ain't gonna put the person on blast, but like certain R&B singers that we heard some things about, and that we always viewed as, man, this a manly man, this a real deal. And then it changed the way you hear it, because like, who was you really singing to?
Yeah.
And when I was singing a song, and like I'm singing your word, but you might have been singing that to Leroy or somebody. Like, yeah, so I understand how they could change your
Watching
whole.
Apollo the other day, they had Freddie Jackson come up on that.
But some of them cats, they already had that little twang. You kind of knew.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about a manly dude looking just like, then all of a sudden you hear that and you like,
TP.
Man, I'm trying not to do this, man. But those kind of things can. But like you said, Tela, I compartmentalize.
Yeah.
I know who I'm thinking about when I sing the song. But I get it.
Hey, we still got like Rick James though.
Yeah.
Rick James was he stood 10 toes down.
Yeah.
I ain't heard nothing on the
Yeah,
and he was a super freak.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
He still did.
Well, if you gonna super freak with who you super freak with, you know, we ain't freaking off.
So Rick James, hold on. My partner hit me flying in. That's funny. We on this shit. My partner, which is my brother, you know, definitely a black man that turned around his life. He did a long stretch. Now my dog out here living it his best.
Yeah.
He came out and didn't give them folks no more his time.
I know
he
that's
all
right.
way up.
Yeah.
So shout out to my dog. But he was like, man, you know, I just found out George Jefferson was gay.
Man.
He's like, man, I can't watch another episode of Jefferson.
Man. You got to compartmentalize, man.
I said, now with him, we can let him say he ain't even here no more, man.
Yeah.
He can't speak on, you know,
Right.
you can still watch the Jefferson. He's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, he hard, but he hard, but he true to. But you know, and then in that time, it wasn't as acceptable that it is now. You know, to the people who made it acceptable. It ain't never been acceptable to me or us.
Yeah.
But the people who made it acceptable now to where they have to incorporate that into every TV show, every movie. It's like they got a quota where they got to insert that in some type of way every time.
Man, you know what? But off top, I can appreciate, man. I can say I like a gay. You know, because I know you gay.
Sound like Pimp C now.
I know you gay. You said, but it's the one like, oh man, you led me astray.
Right.
I thought we was.
That boy was playing football, whipping cats in the schoolhouse, and then all of a sudden you find out,
man. So I feel, you feel a little manipulated. You know, taken advantage of.
Yeah,
you know,
no question about it.
Yeah.
It's a reflection of the world we live in too. It's like we just live in a world where not everything that is backwards, they make it forward and straight away, you know what I'm saying? So those are things we got to combat against, man, you know, because my biggest fear would always be if, like I love them to death, but like Magic Son or something like that, you know, that would be, for me, that would be heartbreaking for me, you know what I'm saying? The situation, like when Magic Son came out and like, you know, and a lot of people might get pissed off me saying that, but I'm speaking my honest opinion. If you had a child that
one of your boys,
and went that full on like that, and but I mean, you know, ain't gonna make him love him no less. But I'm saying for me, you know, I'm a dude that came up. I played basketball. I hoop. I still hoop, and you know, you get to chip off the old block, and then you get that, and it's like, man. You know, it would mess me up.
What about a situation where, because I'm just speaking like, you know, I got a 14-year-old son now, and he's been under my tutelage. You know, if he now that could rub me in a certain way, and I got another son though that he was raised more so by his mom due to, you know, the dynamic we had. Now, if he's that, you know, I don't know if I would feel
the same.
Yeah. You know, because
it wasn't on your watch.
It's kind of like, okay, I mean, I have to empathize with, you know, the absence of
right.
So how can I, you know, but now this one, it's like, no, dog, I had you from day, you know, you've been, you know, you right, you know, to the side. So it's like, you know, that would be definitely hard to accept.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like I say, I'm not never saying nobody should love their child any less. I'm just saying, I'm saying a human nature, natural instinct would be crushed and devastated, you know, and because this where a lot of double standard kick in, not just with the boy. If it was my daughter.
Yeah, and see, I think this is what we need to say. It's nothing wrong with little boys loving little girls and little girls loving little boys. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's okay, y'all.
Right.
It's okay that if you are a dude that you can love a woman. It's okay if you're a woman that you can love a man.
And
it's okay.
And how messed up is that
It's
got
okay.
to be the speech to give when that's the natural art.
But I'm just, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
And that's how I do it. And life is beautiful.
Right.
You know?
And none of us would be here if that was the opposite of that was the norm, was more prevalent.
They say every time you look at somebody, you're looking at a successful fuck.
Without a doubt.
That part, yeah,
without question, man. So when Keisto was asked you about the hiatus, like you kind of disappeared for a while, what brought you back? Like say, well, you know what, man, I'm a jump back into the music and start doing my thing again.
Man, yeah, for me, it's really a vibe. It's just I'm moody with that part. I am really the not as successful Andre 3000.
Gotcha.
That's really what, you know, I appreciate how Andre, man, he do record when he want to do it, how he want to do it, and go where he want to go, when he want to go. You know what I'm saying? And I love that approach. I'm like that. It's just that I'm not, you know, at that size as you know, Paul, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Shit. But yeah, his success level is up there. But that same approach, because man, it wasn't no pun into it's real for me, peace of mind. Something about that stuck in, you know. So if I'm not having a peace of mind when I'm, you know, I'm gone. I'm gone.
Yeah.
But when that peace of mind is there, you know, you're gonna get the best Tela, the Tela that them day ones really appreciate, you know, and the one that shit, I definitely stand on that sound and that approach. Yeah. So when I'm in that space, that's what we get, you know.
Yeah.
We get that. Even if of course, like this new stuff, it's impossible for me to do Show Enough and Taliban. But I'm just saying that same mindset in this new space, you know, is there. You know, like I do what it is that I want to listen to, you know, and I think that other people love it as well, because I ain't gonna short that, you know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I get hit with the why don't you do the Southern Soul? Just because it's blowing, and I think it's a dope ass space, but I ain't, you know, I can't. I wouldn't be authentic doing Southern Soul.
Gotcha.
Now, if y'all pull up with a check,
you're doing
something. That authenticity gonna kick in.
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen.
Right.
But you know, but you know, I think we all working to where too, man, the check don't matter, you know. That's a dope place to be in. Yeah. So some of the artists, when you can go out with it, you know, okay, you got about 150, 200 M's. Yeah. That's a cool, because really do shit that you want to do. If it do what it do, I appreciate J 444.
Yeah.
It's like it was kind of one of them, even though it was thought out and he successfully, you know, put that out over the fence. But I'm just saying, it's still a product that you can tell, like, man, I'm doing what I want to do.
Right.
You know, this is me. I ain't
under no pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
No pressure. Yeah. I ain't got to make y'all recoup. I ain't got to do this or that, you know. Business is good.
Yeah.
You know, so that's man.
So you
awesome.
you transitioned over into independent. Did you ever like do your own label and all that, and just once you got done with the contractual obligations you had with other labels, did you say, I'm just gonna do this all myself based on what you had learned?
Well, the last stuff I did, it's really a partnership.
Gotcha.
I got a partner, and we formed the label together, and But this next move, it's really three of us it's three of us in one move, right? But we all got separate moves.
Gotcha.
So that first move was collectively. Now we'll branch off from that nucleus and kind of do what we're doing. So this next project, you know, it'll probably be through Akashic Records. That's my thing.
Gotcha.
You know.
Gotcha. Yeah. I know the people, man, are glad to see you when you do pop out. Because I just remember time like you wouldn't seeing Tela, you wouldn't hear, but I can imagine what the love is like when you do pop out, even after all these years, you know.
Yeah.
Because one thing about those songs, those albums, they become, like people say, they become the soundtrack of people's life. So in that time space, during that time frame, people are connected to them classics you made, bro. And I know you get that. I know you get
It's
that.
the soundtrack to the strip club. Really, that song really brought in that area when it had strip club music.
Yeah, but you know, going into his albums, not just the songs you hear on the radio. It's songs that are deep, reflective, introspective. It's because we cut from this cloth. I looked at one of my albums had like 20 songs on it.
Yeah.
You know, that's back in the days. Like, now everything is downsized. You got 9 songs the album, every song 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
Back then, you putting in what?
Yeah.
People getting what they pay for back in the days, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there were way too many goddamn records.
Yeah. You think so, man? I love that, man. I love that.
Compared to now, because think about it now, we can really, if you do good enough records, right? And then if you can present it with good enough content, you know what I'm saying? It'll work. And you don't even have to have a full-on album. You know, your piece could be, as we see now, 42 seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know,
yeah.
And long as that 42 seconds has a dope soundtrack of what, you know, you presented, the lens that you know, yeah. And that's really what I'm on now too, because it's like, it ain't just, okay, it's the music, I get that, but it's how I present it to you.
Gotcha.
It's how I'm gonna have to give it to you, how it's gonna have to look, how it's gonna have to, you know, feel and sound to you.
Gotcha.
All of that, you know. It's and that shit gotta line up, man. It really does, because you can just miss. You can have a dope ass record and miss it with how you present it,
right?
You know, or vice versa. You can present something really well in a record,
it's trash.
You know, you didn't have the right. That shit still matter, that you go and get engineers that you know, really working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't putting. I mean, you got engineers work, but I'm talking about engineers that they showing up.
Yeah.
You know, okay, that's who just. Oh, he just touched that record right there. Oh, he touched it. Okay, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So,
no question.
And I'm fortunate. I got an engineer that's like that.
Right.
You know, he's still touching records that you will pull up and you hear now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They resonate now. So that's the fortunate part. If I didn't have that in place, I wouldn't be doing it. You know, I probably had to sit down and try to figure out myself, and that's just too much right now. So I'm blessed. I got somebody that, you know, like I said, he got records that, you know, you pull up at a club, you're gonna catch him.
Yeah.
So when can we expect a new Tela record?
MSD, you gonna get that. MSD, I would say, shit, man, I can have this stuff done 1, 2, man, probably next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's just a single.
Well, we round the corner.
Yeah, it's just one of them. And it's just a record, man.
Yeah.
It's just something that I'm doing. I like the way it feel to me. MSD, Memphis shit different.
Yeah.
But instantly, once again, you'll think it's like a Memphis anthem.
Gotcha.
It's not, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just I felt like, oh, MSD is kind of like LSD.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can put the little tab on the girl tongue. That could be the album cover. So it was just all, you know, artsy stuff with it, you know, but I could do it in a dope fly way. And then I'm giving you some, you know, like some of them little clever Tela bars. I ain't just going crazy, but enough to like, and then I wrap that up with some of the newer sounds that these young boys playing with, drum wise and all of that, to make sure that low end match with. I'm based out the A.
Gotcha.
So being out the A right now, of course I listen to what the streets, you know, relate to,
you got
you
to.
know, as far as
Yeah.
So, and I I learned from
Right.
it. And me and my engineers, we get in there and start playing.
Done deal. Well, we got a couple more before we're going to get you out of here, my brother. You was talking about being in Atlanta now and was like basically talking about like how home ain't the same no more. What do you think about when you see Memphis? Because did you have a relationship with Dolph at all, or did you kind of?
Man, I ain't meet Dolph in person.
Yeah, okay.
Man, I saw Dolph in passing.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's all.
yeah, because he's a little way younger than us at the time, even
yeah.
though he was brothers in mid-30s.
But yeah, he was out there Cascadia. So I got some dogs that's over there that definitely know him and you know knew his old man, you know, and things like that. And it's always same thing, solid.
Right.
I was just solid.
Right.
Everybody, you ain't gonna hear nobody say Dolph was solid.
Right.
Everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
No
everybody, man.
Yeah. It don't
And
take
so
but one.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so I said I called him in passing, but every, person that I'm connected to, no, Dolph, stand up, solid.
Yeah, no question.
We took a L.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took a L.
Man, no question about it, man.
Man, we took a L.
Yeah. So this might be a dumb question. I'm gonna get you out of here, man. Just based on everything we're talking about. We seen it with No Limit. We seen it with Bad Boy. Is it any chance of a Suave House reunion? If it ain't just any chance on any level, album, tour.
Man, I think anything is possible. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It would be dope to see Suave House tour and a Rap-A-Lot tour.
Yeah, no question.
You know,
no question.
Man, I would love that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man.
That'd be killer, man.
Everybody, let's see who's not here that I know. Like Nina, she transitioned, you know. And, you know, that's my sister, too. I miss Nina.
Man.
Yeah. So she transitioned.
Was South Circle was on Suave, too?
Yep.
Yeah. So far, well, everybody's still there on that. You know, last time I checked, CB still around. Everybody, you know, so of course me and Ball and G stay active. So,
Mr. Mike.
Everybody here. That's the thing. You would want to try to why you got everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That'd be so dope to see, man, just for the history, for the fan base, man. I think people, because like I said, we saw it with No Limit. And a lot of those same scenarios, people thought it couldn't happen. And then it still came to pass, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, from it to make sense, man. Maybe even if he did a 10 city,
right, something there short.
Especially you can hit the H, you get San Antonio. We could definitely run through Texas.
Oh yeah,
so you get a good bag. It's right out of that.
Yeah. So I would like to see it happen, man. I ain't seen them people in a long time.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? I would love to see everybody, you know, especially in their element.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I know the fans love that too.
I
you
got
got anything before you go, Keystone?
See the way you get your style of dress from. That old man, the city.
Man, my mom.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
She lost us, you know. My mom used to really go hard. She did, you know, my mom got real religious. You know, it messed with her style. But that's who taught me, man. My mom cold with it. My mom's a Libra.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So Libras, they have that. And I'm a Gemini. And so me and her in that place, but I can't talk that to her. She says it's the devil. I know all that kind of stuff. So we just linked up real good at a young age. You know, she had me coordinating in colors and textures and what go with what, like, you know, how you can pull off silk and leather and how you can pull off suede.
The nuances of the fashion.
That was early.
Yeah.
And then, man, when I saw, and I was already there when like Morris Day them came out.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Oh yeah. You was waiting on you there waiting on them. Yeah.
Like you said, I was waiting for all this out.
Yeah.
I was already there.
Wow.
So yeah, it's my mom.
Man, no doubt.
I appreciate that part of it too. She would, even around the house, she would make like these centerpieces. And I remember she would take me and we would go to stores and be pulling all, different types of just flowers, branches, and then she'll create this dope ass centerpiece. So she was good with that.
Yeah.
And I got that little bit of, touch from her.
Yeah, artsy people, they see the world different than the rest of us. They look at this, they look at something like, oh, I could use it. We look at it and walk right past it. So it's a different type of vision that they have. Well, anything you got going on, feel free to let us know, brother, and whatever you want to get. Yeah, anything you want to share with us, bro.
Man, look, man, I'm just, man, hey, y'all, let's be kind, y'all. Let's be kind to one another. Hey, spread that love. And come over there and see me. I'm at Tela Official. Everything Tela Official, that IG. I think my first TikTok, I don't have one.
The first one.
My first one will be that MSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
hey, man, I'm finna make it a journey. Family, loved ones, tap in. Let's, let's connect. I'm with it.
No doubt.
But K, last thing I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
We had Flip here last week, and K asked Flip, what do you think Pimp will be doing right now on Instagram?
Damn. And
the Pimp on the ground.
Yeah. So you talking about Pimp when I was with
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now had he grown and go through certain things, I think because Pimp had a real mouth.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Side, but
yeah.
The Pimp I know in the space that I know him, man, he'll be, man.
Yeah, be killing
he'll
it.
Be, man.
Selling shit out here.
Yeah, he would have been in, either somebody would have got him or he would have been had to get people.
Yeah.
Because he would have, it would have been everywhere. You would have been trending. He would have been podcast.
Them shorts would have been going crazy, boy. You was seeing them all over the place. Foldables, yeah, man. Well, bro, we so grateful that you came through and sat down with us, spent some time with us, man. But we more grateful that you still active out here putting in this work, and we can look forward to more work and more greatness from you, brother. You're a legend, and you deserve everything that you got coming to you, man.
Sorry to cut you off, but I dig the sit down, man.
Oh, man. Man.
Yeah, it's definitely that kind of space that I appreciate.
Man.
Every time we don't have to be just,
yeah.
we can have what they call it, that safe space.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what this is, brother.
So, So I appreciate that, man.
No, we appreciate you.
Brothers with class and sophistication,
man.
A level of mannerism, and God on you, I love being around it, man.
Bro, like I say, you a treasure, fam, and these doors is always open, man. Anytime you come, you got something you want to get off your chest, want to say, this your spot, fam. So we appreciate you, man. It's the Underground Dialogue Podcast with your big brother, K Reno.
It's your boy, Keystone.
And the legend Tela, and we are
out this bitch.
And it's your big brother K Reno. Look, man, the Underground Dialogue website is back in function. We back in motion, man. If y'all want Underground Dialogue podcast merch, whatever you need, go to undergrounddialogue.com and check us out. And always make sure that every Wednesday night y'all are checking out the Underground Dialogue podcast right on YouTube, 9 p.m. Central Time. Yeah! What's up, man? It's your big brother K Reno, and check this out, man. The Underground Dialogue podcast is offering advertising opportunities, man. You can promote your business, you can promote your video, your song, whatever it is that you have, man. Reach out to us if you're interested in promoting on the Underground Dialogue podcast. All you got to do is email us at undergrounddialoguepodcast@gmail.com. Get it. What up, man? It's your big brother, K Reno. I'm proud to announce that I'm a new brand ambassador to this new brand of clothing and shoes called Volas. Y'all make sure that y'all support this. It's already available. Houston-based company, straight out the A's. Look at the quality
of the packaging itself. We ain't even got to the shoes yet, man. And this is just one pair of shoes, one design. They got all kinds of dope designs of shoes that you guys can choose from. Go to volage.biz and find your order, find what you want. Wide selection to choose from, male and female items, and I'm proud to be a part of it, man. Community workers, versatile products, Volage, manufactured in Italy. Look at the quality of this box, man. Y'all don't know what it is, man. Catch y'all later.